Jackie Robinson took a stand against segregation in Major League Baseball. Although he was subject to intense discrimination, he continued to persevere and fought for civil rights. Jack Roosevelt Robinson was born on January 31, 1919 in Cairo, Georgia. He was raised by a single mother and was the youngest of 5 children. They were raised in relative poverty. At John Muir High School and Pasadena Junior College, his time was spent playing football, basketball, track, and baseball. He is an amazing athlete. In 1938, he was named the region's most valuable player in baseball. His older brother Matthew Robinson was a major part of his inspiration to pursue in athletics. Matthew finished second in the 200-meter dash at the 1936 Berlin Olympics, just behind Jesse Owens. Jackie continued his education at UCLA, where he continued to excel in athletics, but his college education was cut short due to financial issues. Shortly after, he was deported and served as a second lieutenant in the United States Army, even though he never saw combat. During boot camp at Fort Hood, he was arrested for refusing to move to the back of the segregated bus, but because he was so liked by the community, the charges were ultimately lifted. Sir, your seat's back there.
But I don't want to sit back there.
You can't sit here.
But I want to.
Sir, colored people are supposed to sit back there. Sir, you're under arrest for sitting in the wrong seat.
But
his professional baseball career began in 1944 after his discharge from the Army. During this time, baseball was segregated, which forced African Americans and whites to play in separate leagues. At first, Jackie was playing in the Negro Leagues, but shortly after, Branch Rickey, president of the Brooklyn Dodgers, chose him to integrate into Major League Baseball. In 1946, he joined the all-white Montreal Royals, a farm team for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Rickey was aware of the hate that Jackie would receive, so he made him promise not to fight back at all the racism. Some of his new teammates even rejected the thought of having an African-American teammate. He and his family received many threats through his journey. At away games, he took in a lot of racial abuse, but that didn't stop him. His first year with the Royals was outstanding. He had a .349 batting average and a .985 fielding percentage, leading the league. He was promoted to the Dodgers after his successful year with the Royals, making history by being the first black man to play Major League Baseball in the 20th century. The Philadelphia Phillies harassed him by yelling derogatory comments from their dugout. The conflicts got so bad that some opposing teams threatened to not play the Dodgers, while some of his own teammates wanted to sit out. On the other hand, there were people who defended Robinson's right to play at Major League Baseball, such as League President Ford Frick, Baseball Commissioner Happy Chandler, Hank Greenberg, and Pee Wee Reese. A gesture that has become legendary in baseball history was when Pee Wee Reese walked over and put his arm around Robinson while he was being harassed by the numerous crowd.
Hey, get out of here! We don't want you! You're trash! Get out of here! Go home!
Jackie put aside the racial strife and continued to play wonderfully. In his first year, he hit 12 home runs, led the league in stolen bases, and won Rookie of the Year. He again led the league in stolen bases and put up an amazing .342 batting average in 1949, leading him to win MVP that season. Robinson soon became a legend of the sport. He stole home 19 times in his career, setting a record at the time, and was the highest paid player in Dodgers baseball history. In 1955, he led the Dodgers to defeat the Yankees to win the World Series. Jackie retired soon after being traded to the New York Giants on January 5, 1957. His success in the major leagues led the way for other African American players such as Satchel Paige, Willie Mays, and Hank Aaron.
Just an old sweet song.
He naturally became a major voice for African American athletes, civil rights, and other political and social issues concerning racism. In 1949, he testified about discrimination to the House Un-American Activities Committee, a committee created to investigate disloyalty and subversion organizations. In 1952, he publicly called out the Yankees as a racist organization for not having broken the color barrier 5 years after Robinson entered the league. After he retired, Jackie continued as an activist for civil rights and social change, especially for integration in professional sports. He tragically died of heart complications and diabetes problems on October 24, 1972, in Stamford, Connecticut. After his death, his wife, Rachel Ism Robinson, started the Jackie Robinson Foundation, dedicated to honoring his life and everything that he did. The foundation helps young people in need by giving them mentoring, opportunities, and scholarships. In 1997, number 42 was the first number to be retired by all teams in the league, and Jackie was the first black man inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame in 1962. He left behind one of the most influential legacies, not just in sports, but in history. Not only was he the first African American to play in the major leagues, he was one of the best players by stats. Although Robinson was subject to extreme hate and racism, he continued to play and excel at the sport of baseball.
Her arms reach out to me. Other eyes smile tender.